very much, and namaste, namaste. Well, g'day, mate. It's wonderful to be here, and after that, one anything to say. I think that the success of Australia-India harmony, we just have to send him around India and send him around Australia, and I think it'll be the formula. But it was tremendous to be here, and I know that both myself and Graham Quirk are honoured to be here today, and I send apologies from the Lord Mayor of Brisbane because I know he wanted to come, but his loss is Graham's gain. It's just wonderful to be able to be here. You know, I do want to thank all the honoured guests. Dr. Reddy, when you spoke, it made me feel how important education. I'll come back and cover that. When Gary Parley Christia spoke, you know, it gave you the feeling of passion and feeling that you want to make a difference. So it doesn't matter whether you're on the stage or sitting out there, all of us feel that we can do something. Do something, show responsibility of what we can do. What we know is the right answer. Mr. Sharma over there, he brought his sons here, and it is about, no matter whether you're in Australia or India, we care about our families. We care about the future of our children. And education plays a vital role. Mr. Manji, I want to say thank you. What you're doing in regards to that business sector infrastructure is so important. And of course, my good friend, Mr. Monty DSM Murphy, who I met by coming to his office to open a business. And I left with a friend. And that's what the relationships are all about. We sat down and started talking about what we can do to make Danush stronger in Australia. And we started thinking about what we can do to make the relationship between India and Australia stronger. And that's what a good person is. That's what a good corporate citizen is about. That's what a good business is all about. That's why I know Danush will be successful. And I had to come to India to find out the significance of the bow and arrow. You could have told me that when I was in Australia. But it's just, we have to be directional. We have to improve our skills to make sure we get it right. Although I was thinking about I'm here to launch the Australia-India Harmony with Graham Quirk. And when I go home, I think I'm going to need some harmony with my wife because I left for 4 days. And but it's tremendous. She is very understanding, and she understands the importance because we have 3 children, and they've travelled. They've been to India, and all the media has started. And what the website is about is an interactive website. It is not just about getting information. It is about telling your stories. Because the media is good at telling stories, but they tell their stories. We want to tell all our stories, and they're the positive stories that unfortunately don't make the media today. Because the media loves to sell newspapers and television and all those things. And they're the things that we wait when we watch the news or read the newspaper. But the good story is about all the great things that that Austrade are doing, the people of different companies and businesses that are doing. Because one thing I found out, that the thing we have in common, that when you live in India, it's your home. And when I live in Australia, it's my home. And no one should say that my home is better than your home. But what we should do is to make sure our homes come together. Our homes come together because that's the way our mothers and fathers wanted it to be. That is the way that our previous generation wanted our global world to be. Maha Simathami from Springfield always tells me that the Indian community is the only one that has never attacked another country. It's always been attacked. And that makes you think, because that shows a community that when you're under attack and your population, you can go into attack. You've never armed yourselves because you feel that the way to do things is that harmony and peace in a culture. And that's what we've got to do. That's what we've got to promote. That's why Graham and I are here. Because, when Campbell Newman found out about the website, he has started working on that partnership, and the Deputy Mayor will talk about that relationship that we want to have together. That relationship, that sister city. And I've learned about Brother Sister Day because Manju Jehu, she's one of my ambassadors. And Manju was a wonderful, wonderful Indian lady that unfortunately when I ring her up and I don't have a lot of time, I have 5 minutes to talk. She wants to talk for 2 hours. And if I miss Brother Sister Day, I'm in big trouble. I've learned about Brother Sister Day. I've learned about the Festival of Light. I've learned about that good will triumph over evil, that light will triumph over darkness. And they're the things we have to remember. That's what today's all about. Because sometimes in life we forget about the things and the values that we believe in. And the things and the values we believe in is a good education. Now, Brisbane last year celebrated 150 years, and Ipswich this year we're celebrating our 150 years. And we talk about culture. You're celebrating 5,000 years. We have a lot to learn. And it's been wonderful to see some of the architectural and sites that I've seen. And you're just amazed that people could build these things without the technology we have today. I don't know how they did it. Have we gone backwards as a community? They're the questions we have to ask. They're the questions we have to ask. That why are we now starting to think about Australia-Indian harmony when it should be an automatic? Because, you know, when I know that when my mother and father migrated from Italy to Australia, how tough it would have been to move from one country to another. It's not easy. You know, I'm lucky I've got people showing me around, and I hate to drive a car here. It's easy to drive a car. We think about we've got traffic congestion. When I go back and tell them we have not got traffic congestion. You know, and actual fact, if we beat the horn, we get fined. So there'll be a lot of fines here. You know, and what we want to say today is that what can we do, you know, to complement what Danush is doing? Danush has started, they've lit the little wick, they've lit the candle. What we have to do is make sure it grows stronger and stronger. Governments will have their way of doing, you know, Australia-Indian harmony. Businesses will have their way. The community will have their way, and the students will have their way. All of us have to come together as one, with the one vision and one goal. And, you know, one of the things that some of the instances in Australia, which were very minor, has taught me that we can do things better. With some of the students, we had a meeting one night in Brisbane where the High Commissioner of India was there. We had the Police Commissioner, Graham and I were there. The ministers were there, and the whole Indian community. And the Indian community thought, we have let our students down. We have let the Indian community down because we've enjoyed Australia and Queensland so much that we didn't support the new people that are coming. And that's what we have to do. We have to, in our website, show some of the things that we need to teach people. When I was coming over here, my staff wanted to teach me a lot of things about the country, the temperature and all those things, and tried to brief me. Do we do anything that for our students, or are we just sending them to Australia so you're on your own? We have to combine together through the educational facilities to make sure that we give them all the resources necessary so they can enjoy our country, because it is a wonderful country. It's very loving. It's a land of opportunity. It's a land of wonderful opportunities. I know Raj, my dear friend, he's got 4 Indian restaurants. He came as a student, and he just opened another restaurant. And he has a big problem in my city. He said to me, I'm working too hard. Everybody's coming. It's filling up all the time. I'm up to 4 restaurants now. I don't want to go to 5. I'm working too hard. Can you tell the customers not to come? That's a good problem. You know, but he was a student, and I love him. And what we did to celebrate the opening of the restaurant, we had a cricket match between India and Australia. We had the Indian national anthem, the Australian national anthem playing, and we had all the Indian music there. We won, by the way. We won. But they're going to beat us next time. But at night time, we came together to open the restaurant, and we gave out the trophies. And every year, we're going to have that cricket game. Because you know what? We did talk about, I wrote it down here, that we have to walk, talk. That's correct. But there's one other factor that's missing. We've got to have fun. We've got to enjoy the relationship. And that's one of the things that I want to do, because ever since I've known Danush, I've enjoyed the relationship. Because if you're not happy, why do it? If you're not happy in India, why do you stay? If you're not happy in Australia, why do you stay? So we have to include fun in all the things we're doing. And I know the media will have to keep generating their stories, and that's why we wanted to make sure we've got our website, because that's where all the positive stories are coming. You know I speak on behalf of my children and everybody I've spoken to in Australia that knew I was coming, including the Premier and the Prime Minister and Graham, who dropped everything to come here today to represent Brisbane. And Brisbane's like my big brother. They keep an eye on me, you know, like I'm annoying little sister all the time. But together we can make a big difference. We're going to make a big difference for the relationship we've got here today. You know, all I want to say is to my good friend D.S.M. Murphy, look, thank you for his vision and for his ability to bring people together. I want to thank him for taking me all over India. I did 2 months' work in 4 days. But I can tell you one thing, I had fun. So when you have fun, you don't feel how tired you are. So, ladies and gentlemen, can I just say that you're all welcome to come to Brisbane and Ipswich. I want to tell you a story. because it was a great honour for me to be the first non-Indian to be admitted to COPIA and be their guest speaker in Malaysia, and we had an executive meeting in Ipswich and it was well received. I've been the honour of being Indian of the Year. I have more Indian outfits at home than my wife has dresses. She's very jealous, but it's just tremendous to be able to be that role. You know, and I just want to say, you know, from my heart and from my feelings, and not as the mayor of the city, but just as a person, because all of us have a responsibility, and all of us are here not because of our title, but because we want to be here to make a difference. So how do we get that message out? I ask you all please to be ambassadors to what Danush is trying to achieve here in making a stronger Australia, a stronger India, where we can actually make sure our homes are together no matter where we live. Thank you very much for the honour.